Hello everyone. It's time to correct a grievous error. I recently took a look at some of the earlier casts that I did. The ones before the Keycaster, which shows you all the stuff I'm doing, that wonderful thing there. And and before I even started to think about structuring these things in any way whatsoever, I think I did a terrible job on some of the basic editing stuff, and I'm really hoping that I can fix that today or start to fix that. I'm hoping I didn't lose too many people during those. If anyone knows of people I did lose, see if you can get them to come back. I really want to, show off this editor, and if I screwed it up, let's try and fix it. So we're going to cover basic editing. I'm going to try and structure this in sort of the going forward way that I've been doing with some other things. So we're going to cover some really basic stuff today. We're not going to go too far. That's going to be for the next set. So let's get going. I'm just going to load up a file. I don't even let's see what we can find here. Plugin. One of the things I found recently, but is only at work. Let's check out this one because it's not only at work. We're gonna just open up these folds here. If you saw that command, great. I'm not gonna talk about it. We'll talk about folds some other day. It's time to start editing this file. Now, in order to edit a file, in order to actually get into editing, you need to actually get into edit mode. You need to get into insert mode. Vim has a number of ways to get into insert mode. We all know that Vim has a lot of modes in it. That's where it gets its power from. If you don't know that, then I guess I should probably do a really introductory video to Vim, which I might do at some point. But in order to do anything, we need to get into insert mode, so let's start doing that. The way we do that is we can hit I. If you do a lowercase I, that starts editing where the cursor is. And now I can do everything that I would normally do. I can hit space, I can hit backspace, I can start typing, okay? And I, of course, get out of the mode by hitting escape. Insert, escape, insert, escape, insert, escape. If I am somewhere down here and I say, you know what, I really want to start inserting at the beginning of the line, I can use 0, we've seen that, and start inserting with a short or a lowercase I. Or let's say I'm in the middle and I want to do it with one keystroke. Shift I does that. Okay? Shift I says start insert mode, but start at the beginning of the line. That's two ways to get into insert mode. There are other ways, of course. If I want to start inserting at the end of a word, say I go to the end of a word, and I want to start inserting not at the D, not where the cursor is, but I want to start inserting after the D, well, that's A. Okay? A starts inserting after the current cursor position. If I want to start inserting at the end of the line, I would hit Shift A, and that starts inserting at the end of the line. You see that I, the mnemonic is insert, A is append. Okay? A actually means append. Lowercase a appends from the cursor position. Uppercase A will append at the end of the line. There's yet a third way to get into insert mode, which I like. This is for inserting new lines. Oh, inserts a line below where you are. Notice how it put a quote there? That's because Vim has realized that I'm in a comment. And the way that the way I've set up Vim, it says when I use an O here, if I'm in a comment, continue that comment. We will go over how to set that much later. But just know that it can be set differently if you chose to. So now I can start typing on I can hit enter and I can start typing away. Okay? I can also undo that, which I'm going to. If I want to insert a line above where I am, that's Shift O. Okay? It's the same thing, it just happens to be above and below. No big surprise there. Okay? Now, that's how we get into insert mode. If we are not in insert mode, if we're in normal mode, we can start deleting things as well. And we can do that with things like X. X deletes the character under the cursor. Shift X deletes the character before the cursor, like this. Okay, that's how we delete things like that. We can also use D to delete. D will take an object, or it will take a motion, or something like that. If I want to delete the current line, I can use D, D. Double D deletes the current line. And of course, and I don't think I've ever actually showed you this, we have the repeat character. If I want to repeat the last command, I just use dot. I want to just keep deleting lines, dot, 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 dot. And I can also, because we've done a lot of how to move about in Vim, okay, I can actually give a motion to certain commands. D is one of those commands. Lots of commands can take motions. They can also take text objects. Text objects we will cover much later. But let's do motions because we know how to move. I want to delete a word. I can delete a word. D, W, D, W, D, W. Delete just to the... See how it pulls the word plus the space at the end like that? If I want to delete just to the end of this word, that's DE. You see that? Okay? So it's a slightly different way of doing it. There's lots more in this, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it right now. There are other ways to get into insert mode, and I guess why don't we cover those? We're gonna do the insert mode today. So let's say we want to change. So we can change a word. We can use that motion, and we can change the word. I have a $ here, and a lot of people have been asking me how I do that. So I'll digress for a second, but we can now change this word. See, this is incredibly powerful stuff. That whole change word concept is fantastic because I can change a word. Let's say I want to just change up to the end of the, or up to the period here. That's a word boundary, so I can do that, right? And then it doesn't have to be a 4-letter long word. I can just keep typing, in the list of my, grandmother, whatever, right? But it's still, the dot is still there. It's been replacing the word, not 4 characters, but the word. I can also, so that's the C command. There's lots more you can do with C. You can change entire lines with a change to the end of the line with Shift C. See how the $ is at the end there? Okay, now I can type this and get out of there, and I'm done. You can also go into replace mode, which is not insert mode per se. You can think of it that way, but I'm now replacing. Shift R lets me just replace and type and replace and type and whatever. If I do little r, then that is just a single character replace. And notice how the cursor doesn't move. Okay? A lot of times you might find yourself using big R. The problem with a lot of things, and the reason you would use big R is because you want to replace, but you don't want to manipulate the text that you've got. Let's say you've got, I don't know, word 1, and you put in a bunch of spaces, and you do column whatever. And let's say you do this. Now you've got this column sitting here, right? And you don't want to do change word, this is my, see? That column just got destroyed. So I would want to replace, this is my, right? See? It keeps things in that regard, okay? So that's how we do that. So we've done a lot of things now for getting into insert mode, for replacing, for changing. We can also substitute, which for all intents and purposes at this point is almost synonymous with change. It's the same thing as a change, I would think, from our particular point of view. I would stick with change most of the time at this point. Have a read up on substitute, but there's different ways of dealing with visual mode and whatnot, which we're also not going to get into yet. So that we're going to leave it at that, okay? Because we're doing basic editing here. Let's recap what commands we have and how we use them. We can enter insert mode with I. That gets us insert mode beginning at the cursor position, so at the beginning of is here, okay? We can go to the beginning of the line with Shift-I. We can append from the current cursor position with A. We can append to the end of the line with Shift-A. We can delete with X. That deletes the character under the cursor. We can delete before the cursor with Shift-X. We can change words. We can change entire sentences if we want to. We can change with CW, we can change that word. And I didn't actually tell you how you get that $sign. This is how you would do it. Go into your vimRC, type set CP options. I think it's CP options. Yeah, CP options plus equals $sign. That will give you this behavior where it puts the $sign to the thing you're changing. Okay. So we can change that. We can give these things a count as well. I didn't show you that. I want to change 2 words worth of things. So I will do that. Right? Done. Okay? We can change in that regard. We can replace, like so, just overwriting. This is just overwriting. We can replace single characters, like so. We can obviously do things like 3R, right? Which will let us change 3 characters. See how I put 3 H's in there? So all of these things will take counts. They will do everything like that. These are somewhat more advanced than the basic editing, so choose to take them, choose not. Depends. We can delete entire lines. We can repeat things like this. Okay? And we can use repeat obviously everywhere. If I want to say this is a thing, right? And I want to do it, say here as well, dot will do the same thing. This is the power of Vi. This is where Vi gets its beauty from, is being able to repeat things like this. Okay? I have mangled the hell out of this file, so I'm going to undo everything, and I will do that after I sign off. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this is a better way to move forward instead of what used to be the basic editing screencast, which I will still keep online. But I hope we can move forward a little bit better here, a little bit clearer. Everyone have fun. All those commands, of course, you can read up on them in the help. Please do. Stop using your arrow keys. Stop using your mouse. Try and do everything the way that Vi intended it to be done, because it is the best way to do it. Enjoy. Thank you. Bye.